Okay, got it.
We are live, Shernette.
All right, great.
Happy Saturday.
Yes, same to you.
Happy Saturday. I love your background.
Thank
It's
you.
just got a really good, I don't know if anyone's ever taken a picture of your background.
I
I'm going to
don't.
take a screenshot and send it to you. It's pretty cool.
Thank you.
This is your new office, right?
It is. It is indeed. It is. This is
Yeah.
where I hang out. This is where I participate in calls. This is where I, just get stuff done.
And I get stuff done.
That's right. That's right.
Ah,
Right.
we're going to be talking more about that today for sure. No, it really looks really nice. It's a really good vibe. It's really calming vibe.
That's exactly how it feels.
Yeah.
I'm still, there's still stuff I need to put on the walls, etc. But it feels really calming, which is
Yeah.
what I really love. Yes.
Yeah. And I wouldn't really put much behind you because I feel like it's a perfect, I'm going to send you the screenshot of that, but it's just got a really calming, background and some beautiful plants and then you don't need anything else.
Yeah.
Don't need anything else.
Yeah.
So
I like it.
thanks for
I like it.
meeting me on a Saturday. Happy Saturday. It's been an action-packed morning, but I am excited to chat with you a little and talk about your journey here with Thinking into Results and my group coaching program. And before I do that, I just want to invite you to introduce yourself to everyone. Tell us a little bit about you, who you are, what you do, because you do a lot of cool things, and anything else you want to share.
Okay, sure. I'm Shernette, and I am an attorney, and I'm also a certified professional career coach. I have several certifications as a coach, and I primarily coach attorneys who are looking to revitalize their careers. I know others have spoken about, being onto their second, third careers. This is my third, perhaps more career. I started out after my first job after college. I was in management. I'm in the hotel industry, the agricultural industry, managed for a while, and then went on to law school. Practiced for a number of years. Still am practicing in New York. And now I'm onto my coaching career, which I am looking to make into my full-time practice because it's something I really love, I enjoy, and I see where I provide amazing results, and that's really satisfying to me. So, yeah,
Love it. I
it.
love it. Yeah. Who doesn't want to work with someone who provides results?
Exactly.
Exactly.
That's what it's about.
Yeah. And yes. And you and we went to kind of like, I don't know if I would call, I wouldn't say rival universities, but
I consider them a rival.
do they
Sort
do do we consider ourselves rival alumni? I don't know. I never really thought about it.
I
No,
think when it comes to the law school, I think it's there's always the ranking. So yes, there is a little bit of rivalry there when it comes to the ranking, I suppose.
oh, okay. So Shernette went to Columbia and I went to NYU. So but what's really interesting is I went to NYU, but I did my internship at the New York State Psychiatric Institute up by Columbia. So
okay.
I feel like I went to both. I feel
Right.
I did both.
Yeah. The best of both worlds.
Yeah, I wish I had known you then because
that would have been fun.
It would have been fun to hang out with someone up there. So I'm so excited to have you here. We've had an incredible journey together so far, and I know that great things are coming your way. And so I just want to talk a little bit more about like how you got here, how you found me, how you got into this work with me, because I know that you have done a lot of different, you've done your own coaching certifications, Columbia Law School. I mean, you've done a lot of different things in terms of personal growth and development and professional growth and development. Mm-hmm. So what led you to working with me?
Okay. So I'd been, as you mentioned, just really involved in personal growth, trying to understand myself better, understand why there were certain goals that I just could not seem to accomplish. I knew there was something in my way, despite, and so that, led to a lot of seeking, Deepak Chopra, Wayne Dyer, Les Brown, everyone, right? And, I have the books, everything. And would, start to get things done, but just there was something that was preventing me from moving forward. And I came to understand that it was my self image, and that self image that I had, I guess, been socialized in growing up. And realized that I was just not getting out of my own way. There was no objective reason why I was not accomplishing the things that I wanted to. And so, and I've worked with coaches on and off before, and decided, oh, I need a business coach. And then I thought, I really need, it's mindset. It's my mind that's the issue. I don't need someone to tell me how to, put a business plan together. I can figure that out. I've been doing a lot of that stuff all along. It was mindset work. So I went on, I think it was Numi, I think it might have been, if that's the correct name, and, put up my, I think reached out to some coaches. They also recommended three coaches, and you were one of the three. And I spoke with the first, I spoke with you last. I spoke with the others first. And this time around, I did not ask about the cost, because I did not want to make a decision based on cost. I'd done that before. And I was still in that mindset, Marky, but I told myself, and I did not ask the first two what they charged. I did not. Um, had a conversation with you. And the minute we spoke, first of all, you were a Bob Proctor, and I knew who Bob Proctor was. I just felt that I never could afford to work with a Bob Proctor coach. That was just out of my realm. So because I knew who he was. And I spoke with you. You were so easy to speak with, down to earth. Um, and you understood, and immediately what needed to be done, made me understand that, understood where I was and what I needed to. And I just knew that I was going to work with you. And what I found funny was that you said to me, I was like, oh, well, no. And you said, how much do you think I'm going to charge you? That was a funny question to me, because nobody ever asked me that before. It was me usually like, how much do you charge? But you said, how much do you think? And I'm like, I don't know. And then when you said the number, I thought, it's not a surplus. I thought, that's how, I said, you're the one, because you're dealing with, you understand the mindset work that needs to be done. And I'm so happy that I started working with you. I'm really happy about that.
I'm so happy too. I really am. And you just want a free lunch with me.
Yes.
And,
Yes, that's amazing.
I offer all these things to my clients. We like to have fun, so we
Yeah,
often
it's fun.
have little challenges going on, and you just want a free lunch or a free afternoon, actually,
Yeah.
to ask me anything. And I'm so excited you won,
Yes.
because I knew you really wanted it.
I did. I did.
I knew you really wanted it.
I did.
I kept getting those texts. Well, as Les Brown says, you got to be hungry. I guess I'm like, I guess she really wants a lunch. I think you're
You
frozen.
gotta be hungry.
You gotta be hungry. There you go.
Oh,
Okay. Yeah, I think you froze there for a sec. So I was happy you won. I was also happy you won because you're in New York City, and New York City is my second home, and so we're going to do it live, and
oh
it
wow, yeah, it's gonna be fun.
gives me another reason to come home, right? So
Mhm.
so that's exciting. So tell me, or tell us, I know, but tell the rest, tell everybody else. So what's happened for you in this program?
Okay. So I think I am a different person than when I started the program. I started the program as someone who knew what my limitations were, but didn't know what direction to go in. And I've, always known that I've been pretty indecisive when when I need to make decisions. I've vacillated between, do I do this? Do I do that? And although it was pretty easy for me to coach others, I could see exactly where they were. I could see what needed to be done, and I would get them results. it, it wasn't happening for me. And in working with you and through the TIR program, I've learned to just make decisions so much faster, and it feels so good. It really feels good. And the more I do it, is the easier it becomes. I had to make a decision yesterday about, what I need a new phone. My phone is, a dinosaur. So I'm like, I need a new phone. And normally I'd be for hours like, I made the decision in an hour yesterday, like under an hour. I went on, looked, hey, what are the options? Quickly, this is what I want. And that's a minor thing, but that's how I've been handling everything now. And I also can see myself when I'm going back to old habits. I can see that. And because I can see it, it makes me stop and remind myself that that's not who I am. That's not the direction I want to go in. And the fact, if you can't make a decision, you really can't move forward. You cannot. And I'm deciding quickly. I'm making decisions, and I'm seeing amazing results. Look at this office. I mean, I was forever saying I needed to get this done, and by working with you, I got it done. Again, not a minor thing, because I really needed to be in a space where I could really create and be productive. And this has really helped me to move forward in that way, you know?
Mm, I love it. So that really ties into the self-image, right? Like, I am now a person who makes decisions quickly
Mhm.
and gets things done.
Yes, yes,
And, that's powerful when you consider, the old self-image was procrastinate,
hmm
like, put it off, or not even putting it off, but just, you know, tormenting yourself over decisions,
so
right?
true.
Because
Yeah,
so many people get stuck in indecision.
yeah,
And then, when you're stuck in indecision, you're stuck. You're just constantly,
yeah,
perpetually stuck, right?
yeah, yeah. And I'm glad you used the word torment, because that's what it felt like. And that's why I really became so sick and tired of it. It really felt, and it also was impacting my self-image more, my self-worth more. Each time I was not, making a decision, each time I was incapable or unable to make a decision, I felt worse about myself. Look at you, you're doing it again, you're doing it again. And it's just such a great feeling. Really feel a lot more confident. I feel like I'm physically standing taller, because um, I can see how, if I just continue doing this, taking the steps one at a time, I can see the amazing results that I will create. And that's just so exciting to me. It really is.
Yeah, it's so exciting to me too. It really,
Yeah.
I just think about, uh, yeah, like, just how many of us, I think you said sick and tired. And, I always say to people, if you're sick and tired of being sick and tired,
Right.
do this
Right.
work, right? Break the
Yeah. Yeah.
cycle. Because it's just a pattern. It's just a habitual thought. Just a habitual pattern, the
Mhm.
paradigm that's running within you.
Yeah.
So, you can't really change that until you change the pattern, right?
Exactly. Exactly.
And so you've changed the pattern.
Yes. Yes. I've
You've
changed the
changed
pattern,
the pattern.
and um, I've been trying to figure it out for a long time, and didn't know that that's what and speaking of changing the pattern, it's not something, my sporadic efforts before would never have gotten me there. Changing the pattern requires consistent daily work. And this program has, first of all, provided a framework for me, provided a level of accountability. You've made it fun. The group is fun. I just look forward to the morning meetings, the groups. It's fun. And I feel like a connection to everyone that's in the group. And, so just, working consistently at changing that mindset because, I can't reverse decades of, bad wiring with sporadic efforts. It requires consistent effort and having a group of like-minded people and a coach like yourself who understands how the mind works and understand the work that we need to do and does it with a lot of fun. I mean, it's been fun.
Well, we like
So
to have fun. We like
yeah,
to, it's really, we learn to let it be easy because
yeah,
it doesn't have to be hard. We just make it hard with our old programming, like you said. So, we all have that. We've all experienced that from a, generationally, programs from our, generational programs, our environments, things like that. So it's really just about understanding that. And I think, that so many people can relate to that because there's so many, professionals out there who, have MBAs and PhDs and law degrees and, doctorates and things, that just don't understand why they're not doing better. I've got this, like, I'm a doctor, I'm a lawyer, I'm an engineer. Why am I not,
yeah,
making what I'm worth? Why am I not getting the results that I want with all this knowledge and education that I have?
yeah.
And that's the part that's missing, right? It's not the knowledge, it's not the education, it's the mindset.
Exactly. And I think in the materials, and I probably had, heard that said before, that there are plenty, many educated derelicts out there, right? I didn't want to be one of those. I did not want to be one of those. And I, for sure, I have, a fabulous educational background, right? And so for me, it was, am I gonna? I can't be one of those. How do I change that? And also, Cheryl, because I come from a working class family, we're all pretty smart, so we'd always thought, and to a degree, of course, it is that education is your source of social mobility, right? And so here I am, I'd gotten education, and by all intents, and purposes, yes, I was successful. Others looking on could see that, much more successful than my parents were in with respect to professional life and so on. Although they were certainly the foundation that got me there, and I appreciate them and love them dearly. But realizing that even though I was smart, I couldn't figure out my life, right? And realize that it's not it's not about how smart you are intellectually, even with all that education. If you have old patterns playing in your head, it's not going to happen. And I had old patterns playing in my head. My image of myself was that I'm this little girl looking in the window of others achieving, and I'm just wanting and wishing, and it's not for me, and I'm not getting it. How do I get it? I don't know. Others can do it. I didn't get the memo. What? It was just, and so yeah, here I am working through this, and I am so determined to do this because I don't believe that I've been given so much to be contributing so little. And
Mm.
that's what I'm solving here, that I want to contribute to my fullest potential. And without getting my mindset right, I cannot do that.
Oh, that is so beautiful. That is so beautiful. And, just think about, like, having, I know this for myself. Like, I'd say I'm probably doing my best work ever right now because I've done this work.
Yeah.
And I've seen how much it's changed my life over the past few years. And I'm just so grateful to have been able to, be mentored with, by Bob Proctor, and also to be able to carry on his work as one of his top consultants. So I am just so grateful for all of that.
Yeah.
But just think about, like, now that the work always starts with us, right? The work
Yes.
always starts with us. But think about how much more you're going to be able to give your clients
Oh yeah,
in
yeah.
your in your career coaching business.
Absolutely.
Now that you have, that you've done this work, you're just going to be, able to give them so much more value in terms of, having an experience as an attorney, knowing how to navigate through the landscape of building that career, and also thinking about, and how they can, maybe saving them some time.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Because most of them are in the same place that I was. I know that because
Mhm.
there's no reason why they're also struggling because they are immensely qualified, smart people. And so, yes, I'm excited about that because I've been thinking about how much I can help them with not just the techniques that I'm, skilled at provide, teaching them how to use and to learn, but I recognize if I do that, and if the mindset isn't right, then they're going to be, just like me, just like I was in the past, right? Knowing what to do, but not being able to execute.
Mhm.
And so I do look forward to being able to include, some measure of mind, your ability to look at your mindset while you're doing all this. You're pursuing a career. Look at your mindset. Why are you faltering? Why are you not going full to my coaching clients?
Mm, exciting.
Mhm.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for sharing. I know, like, I can't wait for our lunch. I know
Oh
it's
yeah, it's gonna
so
be
much
fun.
fun.
Yeah.
Have you decided where you want to go yet?
I have not because the restaurants I'm looking at, they are closed, the ones that were some of my favorite ones. So I haven't decided yet. So I'm looking. I'm looking. Yeah.
Or you could just, pick a restaurant that you've always wanted to go to.
That's what I think I'll do. That's what I
Yeah.
think I'll do.
Pick-
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
we'll brainstorm on that. But I actually feel like some really good things are going to come out of that lunch for us.
I think so.
Maybe some good collaborations coming. I
That's
don't
a
know.
possibility. That would be cool.
And
That would be really cool.
we'll take over NYU and Columbia together.
Absolutely. Hey, that
We'll
sounds
just
like a
we'll
plan.
take it all. We'll take it all. Um, so what before we go, what would you say to anyone who's thinking about doing this work?
Oh my goodness, don't hesitate. Do not hesitate because if you hesitate, if you are wondering, you are really delaying getting to your goals and run the risk also of never getting there. I tried doing it on my own outside of a structure such as this. Don't hesitate. It's so worth it. It's worth it. There's, you have one life, right? It's just this one life. The clock is ticking. You have goals, you have dreams, you're struggling, you're frustrated, you're sick and tired of yourself, sick and tired of being sick and tired. Do this, do this. And the other thing, and sometimes, I use this with my clients, what are you spending money on if not on yourself? If not on this critical core piece of who you are and who you want to be, what are you spending your money on? What are you doing that? What are you? My phone's
Mhm.
gonna cost me a lot of money. If the choice was between the new phone and coaching, it would have been coaching. So
Well,
do it. Do
and
it.
that's the thing, it's an investment in yourself,
Absolutely.
that could change the course of your life forever,
Yeah.
because we create permanent changes at the deepest level of the mind. We
Hmm.
change those programs, those habitual thoughts, patterns, and behaviors, to
Yeah.
create a new self-image, a new set of behaviors that support what we want.
Yeah.
And really, like, this program is an exact formula to create the life that you desire.
Yeah.
So it will help you personally, professionally, and in every area of life. It's just a repeatable formula that you can apply to anything.
Yeah.
So, I mean, who wouldn't want that, right?
Right. 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 And I'm continuing the work. And I think, I encourage people, have a conversation with you, have that first conversation with you.
Ah,
Don't make a decision without having that first conversation. And you're not a hard sell. It's a conversation.
just a
And it's
conversation.
a conversation. So
Yeah.
there's nothing to lose in having that conversation and then deciding after. Don't decide out of ignorance, decide with the information. So have the conversation and
Oh, I
then
love
decide.
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a great way of looking at it. All right,
Mm.
Shernette, have an awesome Saturday. I
You
can't wait
too.
for our
You
lunch.
too. Yes.
And I know I'm going to see you again soon. So thanks for
Yes.
sharing.
Thank you so much, Cheryl. This has been fun, as has everything else. It's all been fun. So thank you.
Let it be fun. Let it be easy. Let it be fun. Okay, cool. All right.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.